Chump across the thing. Welcome everyone to the post show called Chump Change. It's like a podcast. It's just, not as much format.
Anybody else need Diet Coke? Diet Coke? Yeah.
I'm good, thank
you. A little warm.
Oh, Matt's reaching.
I got one.
Oh.
It's got about 8
You've already
What do you have in there?
What did you have?
I had a mug.
Do you have anything
Stop
in that mug?
storing things. We gotta put locks on these.
Meryl, what's in your box? What's in the box?
Well, it was this.
Nothing.
Nothing.
The reveal. Yeah, this thing is kind of demented. I mean, I get it, but yeah, you would have to make sure not to break it.
That part, honestly, I think as an egg separator, it would work pretty well.
Yeah.
Because eggs are pretty robust.
The yolk also fits perfectly in the nose.
Yeah.
So like
Yes.
Kind of.
Well, at that point, if the yolk fit perfectly in the nose, wouldn't it stop some white from getting out?
This is true.
Give it a little shake.
Well, yeah, you'd have to
Yeah.
be like.
You have to, like,
you're gonna have to do
swirl
that
it.
Yeah,
anyway
you're
because
gonna
the
have to get it
white's so
anyway.
gooey, and you'd have to
Yeah.
really shake it loose.
Seems
it's
weird.
It's a disgusting process.
If you plug the nose, like put the egg in there and then did that, and then poured out scrambled eggs,
That's a possible use.
that's an awful use. You have raw egg all over all of your hands.
This is just a simple like logic thing. It was just like poking holes, not in the lies, but poking holes like, who the fuck's putting honey up to this? Lies.
Fill it with a little honey.
It's like,
I
oh,
had
cool,
no
thanks,
idea.
Mariel.
I had no idea what else to say.
And honestly, it's amazing how, like, sometimes you can give people time to think about it and they'll come up with something, and then once you question them about it, there's something they didn't think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it really, all of a sudden, holes start getting poked in things. But speaking of lying and telling the truth, you two ended up lying about your stories during Pushing the Envelope. So you do actually have a height record holding.
Yes.
Great aunt.
Great great aunt.
Great great aunt.
Yeah, she was my grandmother's aunt. So she lived in Mexico, and I think at the time it was like the 1920s or so. She was like 7'3".
Oh, wow.
The tallest women
Gosh.
ever in Mexico.
Was it one of those things where like she had that like gland that was like?
Basically, yeah. She ended up dying. She died around like my age. She was 27 when she died because her
Oh.
body just like couldn't take it.
So was like anyone else in her family, in her
No,
immediate family tall? It was just.
She was actually an I think fraternal twin, but she had a twin sister who like lived to my family knew. I never met her, but had a good long life. But her sister just I don't know what it was, if it was like a gland thing or what, but she just like wouldn't stop growing.
Is the rest of your family like average height? Are they below average? 'Cause you're about my height.
Yeah,
I think you're
I'm
taller
like,
than I
yeah,
am.
I'm like 5'3". I have a brother who's like 6'5", and I have my older brother who's like 5'10". So like we're
You're all over the place.
yeah, we're all over
Yeah.
the place. But we always say that my oldest brother, gets his height from her.
I guess I leaned too much into the genetics, and I was like, well, Ryan's the tallest guy here, so that makes the most sense. But like that's like one of those. It's not a defect, but
Oh, no, it's like
it is
freaking
like
na-
it's,
yeah, I mean-
it's a freak of nature kind
Yeah,
of thing.
they
where-
would. She would. That's how she was like making money for a while. She was like touring around in like Mexico with.
Oh, that's
carnivals
cool.
and
Tallest
stuff.
woman.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I actually looked up when we got the prompts. I looked up and Susan something or other, who was 7'5", was the tallest woman ever recorded in like the 1950s.
Yeah.
So she wasn't much taller than your great
Yeah.
aunt.
5.
Jesus.
That's insane.
But she gave great hugs.
She was a great aunt.
She's a great
belly
aunt.
button for me. Hello.
So then that means that you didn't do the Walmart thing.
Oh, no, I did, yeah.
did.
Okay.
You were telling the
Yeah, that
truth
really
about
happened.
Did I call that out?
You did.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
you didn't.
No, you got it.
No, you got that wrong.
Yeah.
The fact that you had like the pool supply and all this stuff, it was just like, oh yeah, that's all making sense now. So I don't know why I should have.
The only person you got right was Matt, that he was lying.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't
My
get the
aunt's
lie
still great.
correct, but
Thank you.
the fact that he was lying, you got right. But Matt fought the raccoon under the house with the hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to elaborate a bit on that?
So I would work in the summers for my family's heating and air business. So I'd have to go under the house and put up like the air vents into like the new houses, new construction. And apparently raccoons like to live under there. So
Now he's saying
Now he's saying
No,
raccoons.
I've always said raccoon. I do.
You infected.
Yes. Raccoon City.
So
Yeah.
what I love is that you told me before this when we were talking about it a little bit. So you fended it off, like you hit the hammer around.
Yeah, like I hit like at the sand or whatever, and like it got close
Right.
a little bit. I may have hit it.
You might have hit the
twice,
raccoon with a hammer.
You know, but it ran away eventually, so it's okay.
I mean, it died later.
Well,
for
yeah,
sure.
well, they're raccoons, right?
Brain damage, a lot of neurological cases. It
What
was
I
twitching.
love-
I didn't
It
check
got eaten
his
by
brain
an eagle.
damage.
The differences here is what I love about the true story from Matt and then the lie from Mariel was that Matt was working under a house and fended off the raccoon. He was under there, a raccoon was under there, and then the fend-off began. Mariel's like, I'm getting this.
Yeah, she was chasing.
Coming for you.
Something's scratching the window, and I'm going under the house. And Blaine was like,
Done.
that's
Yeah,
Mariel.
that makes sense.
It seems like some Mariel shit where it's like, I could call pest control, or I could fucking do it myself. And like,
yeah,
that's
true.
such a Mariel thing. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, Mariel did that.
Yes. I love your first question. What color is the hammer?
Yeah.
Listen, I
Right.
did it.
Question 2, where'd you bury it?
I did like some research, like detecting lies and stuff like that, and I felt like I needed to get like a baseline. And if it was just like small details they were tripping up on, I was like, oh, okay, then I can poke holes in that.
You did research before this?
Like I read into like some basic things. I even have notes. I was like hands to
Oh,
face.
you took some notes.
Grooming. I noticed at one point Matt like was doing this.
I do that all the time. 'cause
Yeah,
I have a
you
lot
do.
of hair.
He just moved.
Wait.
Yeah.
What are the rest
Oh
of
yeah,
your
what do you
notes?
got? What do you
This is
identify?
my favorite part, and it's hard to see, but it's like he was asking himself and then confirming. He wrote, Mariel lie with a question mark, and then under it he wrote, Mariel lie. Does Mariel lie? Mariel lie.
Mariel, like,
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah.
And then you wrote Mare lie, like instead of Mariel lies. Oh no, Mariel lie, Matt lie, Mare lie, Ryan truth. I mean, it's not really notes. It's just what you were
it's
saying.
like what he wanted
But
to
up here is
pick,
like
yeah.
I wanted to remind myself, like if they repeat the question, if they have a lot of uhs and ahs, if they do a lot of pauses, grooming.
Little things to know. Yeah, and I
Man,
noticed you were doing a lot of
wish he
like
got me
quick
for truth.
questions,
He wouldn't
color,
have figured it out.
where,
I would have been
who,
happy to
with.
lie more.
Yeah.
I wanted to break them in a way that they were just like, and that's what Mariel was responding to a true story in that fashion, and then I was just like, well, she's clearly lying, and she wasn't. So
We also did something that I haven't seen a lot of people do yet. We just saw Jack do it in the test show, but where you were asking a lot of questions, and you asked the same question twice in the hopes that when you asked Matt about the name. And I'm assuming, did you actually have an aunt named Gloria?
Oh hell no.
Oh, you just remembered.
Yeah.
I thought that would trip you up if you didn't actually have an aunt.
To be fair though, I don't know any of my family outside of like the immediate, so
Yeah.
I could have a name.
Yeah, like, Matt's like, she
She
could
could
be
be
really
great.
tall.
Just
Who knows?
decided it would.
first members, if you're named Gloria and you're someone's aunt,
So,
Oh my God.
Great aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which isn't a relation. It's like an
It's an
evaluation.
yeah, but she's awesome.
Just really great.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's a great aunt. She's awesome. But Ryan, to get into more details,
Yeah.
you were putting up a tent in a parking lot.
Which the audience had a leg up because I've told that story before. I was just banking that you hadn't.
totally not.
But yeah, no, I worked for a pool company. We sold above ground pools, and for some reason they wanted us to put up a display in the parking lot of a Walmart, and a fucking tornado came up.
Was this in Texas?
It was in Alabama.
Okay.
I really don't know the city. It was just some Walmart in the middle of nowhere, to be honest.
So it was like a full-on tornado or like a big dust devil, or was it,
It
like
was
a
no, it was a tornado. Yeah.
damn?
That just sucks.
I was on the tent when the tornado hit, so I went up and then came down on a car. The leg of the tent really was in the windshield of a car. I was holding onto the tent when that happened.
Jesus.
God. So like having
awesome.
never been near a tornado.
It wasn't awesome.
Well, I mean, just from like the spectacle.
When you say when it hit, like did it touch down near you or did it roll up?
I didn't see shit, man. I was on a tent, then I was in the sky, then I was in the car, and then I fucked off to the
I was in the
Walmart.
sky, in the car, on the thing, and then in the betting
It
section.
was- I was trying to stop a tent from getting away, then the world was wide and vast, and then it was crashing, and then I just decided the
Did a
tent
lot of
wasn't
people
worth
take
it.
shelter in the
Oh,
Walmart?
yeah.
What were some words you were saying while this was going on? You're just like, fuck!
I think it was mostly, inarticulate, just screaming. Yeah.
Inarticulate noises.
It went by so fast in my head, too. Usually those things take forever, but that was just like, fuck.
Jesus.
Oh, you just got the Diet Coke.
Oh, you broke the light.
The light came on. We're gonna have to reattach that before January 8th. Just make sure that's on there. So
It's the tornado.
what was the tweet thing? So Matt, when you lied about the tweet because it was Mario's story that you had burned your feet and then you had spelled everywhere wrong. You
did,
said.
yeah.
So like, were you replying to your own tweet or you
I
just
was
like,
replying to my own tweet, yeah.
So you tweeted it and then said, I
And
don't
then-
know what I hate worse.
Yep.
But Matt's was based kind of in reality because you did have the blisters on your foot.
Yeah.
From Disneyland. I remember that. Ryan, was yours based in reality at all? Or is that totally made up?
I mean, we did shoot some stuff for free play in Australia, so that scenario is true, but we never went firewalking.
You never went firewalking
Yeah.
across coals. Well, that was the thing. It was like Ryan said, the tweet was saying the fire on my feet, but Ryan kept being very vague about whether or not he did it.
Yeah.
You know, because you were like,
That's why this segment went
yeah,
into the show.
Wait, yeah.
It all tied together.
I did regret saying, because I think I said that he was the one that made the tweet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I regretted it as soon as he was just like, I think he switched your answer at one point. I was like, so did you step on fire? And you're like, no, didn't make the show. And then another one, you're like, yeah, it didn't work out so well. And I was like, fuck.
I mean, that's the same answer.
Well, no, like, because in one of, he said something like, yeah, did you walk on it? And you were like, no, I didn't walk on it,
Yeah.
like, and stuff like that. And then I was like, but, so it failed because you didn't do it? And you went, well, fire hot.
Well, yeah, fire hot. So fire not walk on.
It just seemed like
That
you were
was
just like,
It did.
just
No,
like-
I see what you're saying, but yeah, like they both made sense in a certain way. But I mean, also I have a leg up because I know the answers going into it. So during the whole show, I'm like, I knew that. I'm like, I know you separate an egg with that thing. You can keep this, by the way.
Oh, that's your prize.
Mario wanted it.
Do you want it?
No, I don't actually want it.
Sure.
I buy my eggs just egg whites already, so.
She said she'd give it a good home.
Well, I just didn't want you to break it.
Oh, yeah. Ryan was really on the verge.
Matt, could you take it and then you can actually do the
Oh yeah, you can pop
Plant
it
something
with
in
it.
it.
I don't have any
There you go.
plants.
Oh,
Matt would never in his life take care. He barely takes care of himself. You
That's
think
true.
he's gonna take care of a plant?
No, I
got a
did.
snake.
I did have a plant. at
Put
one
liquid in there.
But I do think it would work.
what
though.
if the snake
Ryan,
want to live in it?
The man has a snake, and Matt comes in all the time and goes, "Well, the snake hasn't eaten in 2 weeks."
It's because he's hibernating, to be fair.
All right,
But
checks out.
you're right. He hasn't eaten for like 2 months at this point.
Oh my god.
Well,
You have a dead snake.
he's alive. He moved yesterday.
There's like a stack of dead decomposing mice in his cage. You're just like, I don't know what's going
I
on.
just can't tell. I don't know what's going on with this snake.
Look, it's not my fault he won't eat. I try to feed him. He just won't eat it.
You get mice.
Yeah, you gotta like pretend that it's alive for a little bit, and then try and get him to try and go after it.
And he doesn't.
He
thrilled
well,
to
no.
hunt.
Whenever he starts to hibernate, he's like, "Now I want to eat that," and he just literally leaves.
And then Matt hits it with a dead mouse. And he goes,
That is it.
moved."
I hit it with a dead mouse a little bit.
When he hits the snake, it does this, and Matt goes, "He moved. He's alive."
Yeah.
Maybe if you play dead mouse while you try to feed
There's
him
a little
a dead
computer screen
mouse.
in there.
I didn't think about that.
He's like he's burning like half a calorie a day. I think he's okay.
Yeah, he'll be.
He's just going,
With which arm?
fuck you.
It's a snake.
I'm a chump. Oh no.
I'm a chump. The snake, like, the snake gets a point. He's like, at the podium, he's like, ha. Well, yeah, thanks again, everybody, for joining for Chump episode 3. Awesome. That was some of the best lying that I've seen yet on the show. So I think it's going to get harder and harder for the contestant. But at the same time, like you were saying, you're starting to notice people's tells and things like that, or you thought. But I think over time, people are going to start to figure that out. So we're going to have to start changing up how people are lying to really keep things under wraps on who's telling the truth or not. But thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Chump Change. Thanks for watching the episode. Reminder that there isn't going to be an episode for a couple of weeks. January 8th is when Chump comes back, and we finish up season 1 with plenty of new people, plenty of new liars, and plenty of new stories. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining me, guys. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.